Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone. It is 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 9:20 a.m. Eastern Time on this ninth day of April 2021. Happy Friday. Hope you all are going to have a good weekend this weekend and staying safe. I just got my COVID vaccine yesterday and my arm hurts like hell. I usually never have a sore arm after a vaccine, but I do today. Anyways, in today's article, I do a multi cryptocurrency analysis going over Cardano, Litecoin, and Polkadot. I wanted to do a video over Polkadot as well, kind of just echoing the same analysis, not necessarily verbatim, but close to. But I really want to take a look at the levels here that we see. So um, overall, on the daily chart that we're looking at, it's very bullish. All right, all the conditions that we would want to see to have an extremely bullish bias are present, especially within the Ichimoku system. We have future span A is above future span B. Current span A is above B. We have the Tenkan Sen above the Kijun Sen. The Kijun Sen is very flat. That's a very strong level to look at. And then we also have the current close is just above the Tenkan Sen. And then we have the lagging span. Probably the most important here is that the two most important conditions that be bullish are that price is above the cloud and the lagging span is above the candlesticks. There is some evidence of weakness, though. Certainly, if we see prices drop below, we'll probably see a bounce at 37 where the Kijun Sen is at. But watch for any move where we see it drop below Senko Span A, which would be very tough. Senko Span A is the hardest level to cross above or below on the Ichimoku system. It represents the strongest area of support and resistance. There is a shared support zone. So we have the prior lows here on the 24th and 25th that share the support structure here of Senko Span A. So there's a pretty strong support zone. However, if price drops below that, if we get down to 27, all right, that means price will have dropped below the cloud. And unless there's a flash crash, we will more than likely have seen the Tenkan Sen drop below the Kijun Sen. But then the lagging span will be below the candlesticks. So that would be a very, very, very bearish setup. So just be on the lookout for that. Our support zone that we would see, the first major support zone is the high volume node at 17. So that'd be a pretty substantial drop. But I want to take a look at the weekly chart, though, because the weekly chart is where everything is kind of showing some near-term weakness, or rather some limited upside still. Now, Polkadot's data is still so new that we don't even have a future Senko Span A plotted. I mean, it's still so young. We need 52 periods worth of data, and we only have we need another what is that, 33 bars? Yeah, we need another 19 weeks of data before we would see our first, actually 20 weeks of data before we see our first plot of Senko Span B, which is kind of crazy. Anyways, higher highs on the candlesticks. But when you look at the RSI, we have a series of lower lows. And the composite RSI has lower lows. That's number one. And the composite index has, lower highs, and the composite index has lower highs. Numbers 1, 2, 3 here represent three conditions that you will want to look at, because if all three of them end up being true, if all three of these are met, we more than likely see a flash crash. The first one is that here's this trend line of the RSI. If the RSI drops down to it and drops below it, watch out. The lowest recorded level on the composite index is at 48. If the composite index drops below that prior low, watch out. The first condition that we're probably going to see triggering a kind of domino effect of falling support is when the percent B, number 3, when the percent B drops below 0.8. That will be the kind of first warning of imminent bearish movement in the near future. Depending on how fast if it were to drop. If it drops really fast, what we would end up seeing in the oscillators related to price action is a we would likely see a condition of hidden bullish divergence, which means it just turns into a buying opportunity. But if it's a slow burn, if it's a slow drop, then we may not see um, a real broad sell off. We might see a sustained downtrend that lasts for 2-3 months. But in the case of hidden bullish divergence showing up, which would be like a flash crash, that would really mean that Polkadot drops roughly between 35 to 45%, loses that percentage value from its all-time high. So just be on the lookout for that. Things can move higher. All right. Things can certainly move higher. These levels that are on the RSI, the RSI gets to 65. That is that's the first oversold condition. If it gets to 65, the composite index is sitting in a natural support zone around the 50 value area, and we could see the percent B bounce off. So we could just see a resumption higher here, but just be on the lookout for any weakness in the broader cryptocurrency market, because that will more than likely trigger DOT to have a very, very fast collapse. From all of us here at Exchange Rates UK TV, thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.